With the second anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine just days away, Russian President Vladimir Putin is vowing to push further into the war-torn nation and build on their army's recent success on the battlefield. All while Ukraine's Zelensky struggles to shore up more military aid from his allies. And this comes as the Kremlin confirms it detained a U.S. Russian citizen for donating the equivalent of around $50 to a Ukrainian charity. Plumes of smoke rise from the industrial city Avdiivka. It's the biggest victory on the battlefield for the Russian army since last spring. Kiev's troops withdrew from the region over the weekend, and now Russian President Vladimir Putin says he wants to use this momentum to push even further into Ukraine. Bombs continue to rain down west of the city, and many fear Russia could expand their hold in the region.
How confident are you that there isn't another city that falls right after this, that Congress acts on?
I'm not. No one can be.
And while Ukraine battles Russia on the home front, they're also now facing a crisis at the Polish border.
Я хочу звернутись до уряду Польщі.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky is calling on Poland's leaders and European Union officials to end escalating border blockades by Polish farmers. They're upset about what they're calling unfair competition with an influx of Ukrainian products undercutting their livelihoods. Zelensky condemned pro-Putin slogans used in the blockade. Poland has been a supporter of Kyiv through Russia's invasion, but the protests are straining relations. Poland so far has not responded.
I spoke with Zelensky this afternoon to let him know that I was confident we're going to get that money to keep that country from being overrun by Russia.
All this comes as Zelensky says the situation on the front lines is getting even more desperate as he struggles to shore up military aid from his Western allies. The United Nations says its humanitarian appeal for the country is only 10% funded for this year, jeopardizing crucial assistance for those in need across the front lines. Stateside, a $95 billion bill that ties aid for Ukraine and Israel with funding for an American border security is stalled in Congress, with Senate already giving it the go-ahead, but House Republicans went on recess without approving the bill.
What happened in Avdiivka is the exact result of congressional inaction.
The Pentagon told CNN today they've been asking Congress to approve the bill for months.
Unfortunately, Ukraine has not seen an aid package from the United States since December 27th, and they're in the fight of their lives. They're still pushing in the east and the south, but they had to make a strategic withdrawal from Avdiivka in order to preserve their resources, to conserve their ammunition and artillery.
The U.S. has said they will introduce new sanctions this week.
The sanctions that we'll be announcing on Friday will be in connection both to the 2-year anniversary of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine and to Navalny's death.
The Americans have their attention turned to Russia now, though, as the Kremlin announced it arrested a dual U.S.-Russian citizen on treason charges, accusing her of openly opposing Russia's war with Ukraine. The woman, identified by Russian media as 33-year-old Ksenia Kavana, reportedly transferred the equivalent of $50 to a Ukrainian charity the day Putin launched his offensive in 2022. She faces up to 20 years in prison.